All right, here I am. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We skipped the intro because I was late due to technical difficulties, and by technical difficulties, I mean I was sat in a restaurant when I realised it was 20 to 11, and then drove like a lunatic to get here on time. How's it going? No. It's once a month. 25th of each month is missionary night. So that's not what I was doing. Glad to see everybody's in. Hello, everyone who's in. Let's have a quick blast down the list. Willie's in. Now then, Grumpy Sapper, Void 17, she's a new subscriber. Ams is a new member. So well done to Ams. She is much more sensible and reasonable and generally intellectual than uncivilized savages like you, Zardos. Bootneck's not bothering tonight. No, he's in. Marcel Harold Stewart. He's allowed to insult me again because he's joined the channel. Nimble Horse, Northern Hardcore, Stevie Cops, John Higginson, Lenny Owl, Shy Ted, Slim's in now then. Ragnar, obviously. Resistant Geordie, Sadwings. He wandered in, did he? Yes, I'm here. Right. Where have I been? Sorry, I was having breakfast with my missus. When you're an emotional fossil like me, you have to make up for these things in other ways, which is by buying them breakfast. What's this? Hugh Edwards. I'm sick of seeing Hugh Edwards' rusty sheriff's badge. Don't be bringing him up. We've all had enough of Hugh Edwards, haven't we? Joe, I'm angry. Can you help? Lol. What are you angry about, Joe? I'm here to help. Tell me if it's about a story in the media that I can take the piss out of. I am more than happy to help. For fuck's sake. Because I was late as well, I haven't got anything to drink. So I'll be a bit hoarse throughout this presentation. I realised I thought I was live. It said live when I started talking. There must be a bit of a delay. Well, fuck them. I'm here now. Better late than never, as they say, right? Right. The first thing I want to talk about today is this marvelous story that I was sent. Bootneck's Dublin's one of the safest cities in the world. What a load of shite. Yeah, basically, there's two stories. One of them's a headline saying Dublin's one of the safest cities in the world. The next one is top 10 most dangerous major cities in Europe, Dublin. So it's like, again, there's lies, damn lies, and statistics, isn't there? Like, basically, they can make you think whatever they want you to think. Which is what I keep telling you, all you've got to do is trust your gut. You try and read as wide a circle of sources as you can. And I think most people that aren't fucking morons know this by now, because alternative media is as popular as it's ever been. The likes of Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones, and even on the left, right, Jimmy Dore and all of them, like, they get tens. In fact, no, if you bundle them all together, they get hundreds of millions of views. So I think most people know that in this day and age, alternative media is the way to go. But even that, right, you got to do your research. So what I always tell you is read the BBC. I read the BBC every day. I fucking love The Guardian. The Guardian is the funniest comic since The Whizzer and Chips. The Guardian's my fucking go-to. But you have to read a fucking broad spectrum of news and then listen to alternative media sources as well. And, okay, that makes sense, 20 years. But yeah, well, there you fucking go. I wonder what changed in 20 years there. But you know what's interesting? Jimmy Dore, right? This is what I'm saying. Ron Morgan said, Jimmy Dore said, yeah. This is what I'm saying about, like, those people that are uninformed, the woke, religious zealots that they are, who call everyone far right and fascist and shit. It's a strange time to be alive, because I'm not, well, you know I'm not far right, but idiots nowadays, they literally hear one thing that you think and call you far right. If you clipped some of the stuff Jimmy Dore said, you could call him far right, and he's not. He's basically far left. He always was. Or Russell Brand with his fucking commie tattoos. Even Count Dankler's got his commie tattoos again, hasn't he? He's got them on his arm, hammers and sickles and shit. But the second they get one tiny, I mean, immigration's a great example. You can clip any of them saying like maximum, unending, uncontrolled, unvetted immigration is bad. And snip it, and then everyone will just, the walk will just be like, far right, yeah, gulag. You can see why the gulags fill up, can't you? Joking aside, everybody talks about it. You can see why they fill up so quickly, because they could hear one sentence Jimmy Dore comes out with and just be like, yeah, far right. And when they label you that way, they do just think, yeah, kill them. Don't they? Like, you must have realized that by now. They dehumanize people so aggressively, to the extent where you know they would happily put you in the gulag. That's what David Starkey said all the time. Like, you know they would. And I'm definitely worried about fucking Elon Musk, mate. Like, I think they would just kill him. Like, people are going on about SpaceX. Oh, yeah, it's a great company. The SpaceX do put more shit in orbit than the Chinese government. Like, they put more boosters, rocket boosters up in a year than the Chinese government can manage. One private company in America. They're keeping America ahead. They're keeping America ahead of the space race, and they'll kill him. The Biden administration, the people that are running things in the shadows, they would just kill people because they're so ideologically possessed, which is what I keep saying, they dehumanize you. They think you are evil. And that's the big difference why someone like me that always considered myself to be centre-left, libertarian, socially liberal, centrist, like, they'd just kill me. They'd see one of my videos and in their head they go, evil. And if someone's evil, why not? That's the equation they do. The right and the old school centre-right, right, very right, centre left. They don't think that the extremists are like super evil. Obviously, the high priests are, but the flock aren't evil. We just think they're naive, they're stupid, they're being misled. But that's the big difference. They think you're bad. We think they're stupid. We think they're naive. We think they have the naivety of a child, where they think there's not going to be any repercussions from leaving everything to fucking trust. It's the big difference, isn't it? We think they're naive and ignorant, but they think we're evil. And that is why the gulags fill up every time. Every time you read the Gulag Archipelago, that's what happens. It's like everybody ends up in there. The fucking morons who usher in these socialist revolutions and shit, they don't realise they're making a rod for their own back, because it goes on long enough and everybody ends up in there. And that's what they do. First, they'd go the extreme far right, Nick Griffin. He'd be the first in the gulag. Yeah. But a year later, it's fucking everyone. It's everyone who even slightly disagrees with them. They go far right and then dehumanise, clearly a bad person, so we can do whatever we want with them. That's the big difference. And yeah, I was fascinated listening to Jimmy Dore talking to fucking Alex Jones. It was like, I used to hate Jimmy Dore. Like 5 years ago, I was like, I hate this bloke. Young Turks, fucking arseholes. And I've made this point before. One of my best mates from Borough, because so many of them are in Middlesbrough, is like a dyed-in-the-wool socialist, like lefty arsehole Labour voter. And me and him talk still all the time. He lives in Singapore now, on WhatsApp. And now we agree on everything. Because the old left, the Michael Foot, Peter Shaw, Tony Benn, they have more in common now with the Alex Joneses of the fucking world than they do with the authoritarian woke, this, whatever you want to call them, neoliberal, authoritarian sort of woke fascists who will just lock you all up. They just instantly decide you're a bad person and fucking lock you up. And this is what I'm saying. People like Russell Brand, Jimmy Dore, these terms used to mean something. Like left and right used to mean something. And now it doesn't. Now you're either one of them, you're in the cult, or you're otherwise, you're an outsider. And the outsiders, they can hurt you. They've just decided. You know what's moral? Hurting them. Because they're bad people. The shit they've said, this isn't just me equivocating. This is what they've said. Look at the shit. Hillary Clinton. I mean, from their own mouths. Like, she was like, half of them, the basket of deplorables, racist, sexist, homophobic. If you call people deplorable, think of it, the language they use. Is that not? Because they all go on about, oh, freedom of speech, except for, oh, you can't do fucking fire in a crowded theatre. Surely that language counts as hate speech. Surely it's acceptable to just hurt those people, isn't it? Think about it. Is there a worse word than deplorable? Is there? Like, that is hate speech. Donald Trump never, ever called a whole group of people deplorable. But they did. There isn't a worse word. Like, I'm not even taking the piss. There isn't a worse word. Would you call Ian Huntley deplorable? To the Americans listening, Ian Huntley killed, murdered 2 little children. And he's now in prison for the rest of his life. Well, until Labour get in, and then they'll make him a fucking lollipop man outside your local primary school. But deplorable. That's a good word for someone who murders children. Deplorable. And that is what they label you when you disagree with the woke project. Deplorable. Yeah, but see, exactly, and that isn't as bad, is it? I call people fatty. If I'm out on the piss and some fat bird grabs my knee, it happened to me once. There's a funny story. I'll tell it anyway, why not? Let's see. I don't think this is deplorable. I was in a club in Borough. The women are rough in Borough. And I got filled in by the doorman. This is when I was like 19. And I was sat down next to my mate Tony having a drink next to the stairs in Millennium at Teesside Park. And this honking bird with one of them big curly fringes and puts a fucking foundation on with a trowel sat next to me and put her hand on my leg. Started like massaging my thigh. And I was like drinking my pipe with Tony. I looked over this bird's fucking, and I was like, all right, how you doing? And she was like, oh, you're dead nice, you are. Oh, I think that was the line she went with. And I was like, do you mind? I'm talking to this fucking me mate, like. And she was like, oh, were you like Mr. fucking Iron fucking Mighty? Did it? And started proper gobbing off. And she was obviously pissed. And I was like, here, I don't want to talk to you, love, just fuck off. And then she said, oh, look at the clip of you anyway. I think you're the fucking king, you fucking spotty cunt. She called me a fucking spotty cunt and I guess I was a teenager. Maybe I had a big one on my forehead or something. She went, no, you fucking spotty cunt. I went, all right then, if we're just going to start throwing names about, fatty, how's that sound? How's that grab you? Buffalo ass? What do you reckon? Fair dues, isn't it? So she went, oh, come on then. And this is what lasses always used to do when I was a young lad. If I start spinning dits, I can tell you the multiple times I had physical altercations with women drinking in Middlesbrough as a teenager and a 20-something. I used to always do escalation of threat, right? I'd never go beyond it. I'd always just meet them where they went. And it always went to, they start giving it verbal, I give them some verbal back. They throw a drink on me, I throw a drink on them. They start punching me in the face. I am forced to defend myself and either lamp them or throw them down the fucking stairs, which is what happened in Millennium. Because you're right next to this like 3 flights of stairs. And she started fucking punching me, right? So she called me spotty cunt. So I said, all right, how's this grab you fatty? Then she ditched a drink on me and I went, all right, if we're just throwing drinks around, whoop. Then I ditched, perfect shot, by the way. She was partially seated. Basically a full pint of Guinness. like in her hair, you know, foam in her fucking hair, straight down the front of a white shirt. And then she leaps up and started smacking my face in, right? So after about 5 or 6 punches, I think I've told you the Bootneck's dad threat pyramid when it comes to dealing with violent women. And I've shared this story before because I'm trying to look out for, well, for two reasons. First of all, because I'm a feminist, right? An actual feminist. And secondly, because I'm looking out for young men, right? But my dad always told me the 3-second rule. And the 3-second rule, because he told me this when I was like 15, because my dad's streetwise, and he said to me, in Borough, you do not let women hit you. He said, because he knew at school they were telling us, like, oh, a man never hits a woman. Oh, a real man never raises his fist to a woman. And my old fella told me, he was like, yeah, that's bollocks. When I was a kid, he was like, my mate got glassed by a woman in a red car, like smashed a pint glass in his face, and he did like 9 stitches because some bird stuck a fucking pint glass in his face. So my dad said to me, if a bird wants to hit you like a man, then you can hit her like a fucking man. And he always taught me the 3-second rule. And the 3-second rule is you put your fucking guard up, tuck your chin in, put your mitts up, and you count to 3 slowly. And if the punches are still raining down on you after 3 seconds, then you take a step back and you give the cunt a fucking winder. Like that, to me, is perfect. And he said, you do the 3-second rule because you're legally untouchable. Like, obviously, he trained me quite well. And I put this to practice in Exmouth when a lass hit me with a bottle. And then I was forced to starfish her in the middle of the street. And 2 coppers come running over and said, did you just fucking knock that bird out? And I said, aye, because she twatted me with a bottle, threw about 8 punches at me. So I fucking lamped the cunt. And sure enough, they took my name down in case there was any additional to come from it. And I never heard a word. So I'm not a lawyer, but I think I'm giving you cast iron legal advice here. And exactly, right? This is what I'm saying. That's what I say. All the based, sensible women that listen to the Bootneck, no, the crack. This is what I'm saying. I don't hit women, caveat, unless they've poked a few into me first, because I think you shouldn't hit people. You know what I mean? I don't hit women. I've never, ever threw the first punch at a woman. And I just demand the same treatment, the same respect. Is that not fair? Like, I don't hit women. But if they're going to poke 8 jabs into me in Millennium at Teesside Park, well, the culmination of that story is after she'd bounced about fucking 9 jabs off my head, I jumped up, grabbed her, and hoyed her down the fucking stairs head first. And she was like, ah! And there's a lot of stairs in Millennium. It was like, ooh, ah, ee, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ee, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, all the way at the bottom. It's about, I think there's like 5 floors in there. And she hit every second step all the way at the bottom. So yeah, she poked about fucking 9 hooks into me, and then she got ditched down the stairs because she was trying to knee me into plums. And then at this point, loads of doormen come over, and it all went downhill from there. But the point I'm getting at is, you don't just let people fill you in, do you? That's the Borough. No, he's a lefty Californian. Yeah, far out, dude. No violence, man. Whoa, you like totally ended that chick's existence, bro. Yeah, so she was local classy bird. She hit every ugly step, and I've totally forgot what my initial point was going to be. I don't know how I went down that route. Oh yeah. So basically, don't know how we got onto that date. The old left and the old right have met in the middle, haven't they? Like, there's something weird going on, and now those terms don't even mean anything anymore. Like, it just means nothing. And me and my old mate, who was like a Labour voting twat, we're sort of on the same page on nearly every issue, because you sat there going, have I gone completely fucking mad? Like, it's fucking crazy how the world's gone. And you can see that if you're old left or old right or old conservative, your views haven't really changed. It's the world that's fucking changed and gone a bit crazy. And you just have to stay true to yourself and keep consistent with your beliefs and just fuck them. Like, when they're saying, like, you're a bad person, it's like, yeah, but I know I'm not. You guys have gone crazy and you've joined a cult. And in the cult, if we don't agree with absolutely everything you say, you just decide that we're bad people, but nothing you're saying is rational or reasonable or logical. And they are the bad ones. That's what I keep telling you. If you're a lass and you go on a dating app and you see a bloke and he's like, oh, I'm a proud male feminist. I'm pro equality. Do not fucking swipe whatever it is. I don't even know how it works, left or right. Whatever it is you swipe and fucking go on a date with them. Don't do it. Because if they're constantly going on about how woke they are and how much they respect women, they will have 3 teenage girls chained up in the fucking basement. Because normal blokes like me who don't go on about being equality and honestly admit that occasionally I've been forced to ditch birds down the stairs in sweaty, piss-soaked Middlesbrough nightclubs. We aren't the types who chain women to the cellar because we don't feel the need to virtue signal. It's an old adage, but it's true. Like, the more someone talks about how honest they are, the more of a lying twat they are. Politicians, think about it. Nobody normal talks about how honest they are all the time. The only people who do it are lawyers and politicians. So if you fucking hear someone going on and on and on and on and on and on about how much they care about women's rights, they're a fucking sex offender. If someone tells you they love kids, oh, fucking love kids, me. Oh, kids. Michael Jackson was always like that, wasn't he? Oh, kids are so, oh, I see the face of God in children. That's why I want to bomb them. If people go on about something all the time, they're obsessed with it. Fucking obsessed with it. So, like, it's the same with all of that shit. They're going on about kids all the time, pedo. Going on about women's rights all the time, fucking rapist. Going on about how honest they are all the time, lying bastard. I remember, I think I've told you this story before. I remember washing the pots about 15 fucking years ago in the kitchen in Borough, washing the pots. And my brother always used to have the radio on when he was cooking Sunday dinner. And I was there. And I was washing some dishes and the radio was right next to me. Remember it like it was yesterday. And it was right in the middle of the expenses scandal. And it made me want to fucking vomit, whoever the politician was, because he strung together so many positive words in one sentence. It made me want to fucking puke. And he was like, oh yes, I think the real crime of this terrible expenses scandal is just it's harmed the public trust in politicians. And I kid you not, this is what he said. It was something like, it's harmed the public trust in politicians. And before now, everyone knew that politicians were, usually the most kind, honest, giving, caring, noble. Like, he went on for fucking ages like that. And I was washing the dish and I nearly fucking balked. It's a good job I was washing the dishes because I could spew straight down the fucking waste disposal when this cunt was talking. That was and that was his answer. Like, it was a normal question from a member of the public. Like, what do you think was the biggest, most extreme excess of the expenses scandal? And instead of him just answering it going, oh yeah, probably that MP from Lewisham who bought a fucking swimming pool and a Rolls Royce and 27 laptops and put it on his fucking credit card. He didn't answer that. He said, yes, politicians kind, warm, giving, generous, noble, honest, decent, hardworking. Like, just reeled them off. Just an endless string of fucking positives. And I was there just wanting to balk my guts up listening to this fucking rat. And that's what I'm talking about. Maybe it was. Don't know. But you get what I'm saying. So, constantly going on about honesty, lying bastard. Constantly going on about feminism, rapey. Constantly going on about kids, fucking pedo. It's just the way it is. It's just, you all know it. Me, happily married, never been forced to knock my missus out. And I'll happily admit, after getting 12 punches bounced off my head, I was forced to toss a fat bird down the stairs at the nightclub. So the sort of rough around the edges, normal blokes. Basically, what I'm getting at is, if you're on a dating app, this is for the girls, right? And you see a bloke and he just seems normal and a bit rough around the edges, like, I'm Dave. I like laying bricks and football and that. And I want to meet a nice bird. He's way less likely to slip a Rohypnol in your gin and tonic, and then you wake up 3 days later chained to a biffa-skip with his fingers in your fucking dirt box. He is way, way less likely to do that than someone who's got feminism, yeah, equal rights, yeah, women are the most important, precious things, yeah. Do not trust that fucker. If I was a bird and I went out on a date with a geezer whose whole fucking profile picture was talking about how much he respects women, I'd drink out of a flask. Did you see the video of Kim Jong and Putin when they were at a fucking meeting and they both clinked glasses and they're like, yeah, not drinking that. Take a fucking flask if you got one of these blokes. So yeah, yeah, this is what a feminist looks like. Yeah, cheers then. Yeah, and Jacko, I see the face of God in children. Yeah, shows your fucking lungs. That's the fucking world we're living in. Yeah, unbelievable. So that's the walk. This is why I don't trust them. They're always going on about what a bad person you are. You're a bad person. You're a deplorable. I'm honest and decent and kind and giving. Yeah, fucking pedo. That's basically that's it. Don't trust anyone who goes on about how fucking moral they are. I mean, look at a normal person's fucking Twitter. Like you're all normal people in here. Your Twitter's like, oh, good result that. Yeah, nice one. Good save De Gea, you know. Oh, Harry Kane, I hope he scores again. It isn't. Yeah, I'm a good person. Yeah, I'm a good person. Yeah, because you've got a fucking 8-year-old girl grabbing her ankles in your fucking cellar. That's why. Sick of hearing it. Like I told you, I've ranted about it loads. I will not be talked down to by the fucking woke. They are the worst people ever. Oh, can I share my WhatsApp on here? There's a few good stories I got sent. No, I've already tried that last time, didn't I? I'll tell you what I'll have to do. I'll have to Google this headline I want to talk about. Family doctor, sexual assault. Yeah, here we are. This will come up. Probably won't. Here we are. Look at this. Family doctor, 47, accused of sexually assaulting 5 women, cancer-stricken. I'm helping you, as he groped her breasts and exposed himself. I love that. I love that. This is what I'm saying. You have to laugh. It's fucking horrific, but you have to laugh at the brass neck on these fucking people. The neck of 1,000 giraffes. He's got more fucking neck than E.T. and his extended family. That is unbelievable. He's like that with his cock out. I'm helping you. Like, no, you're not helping me. You're pulling your fucking pudding while you're looking at my baps. That is not helping. You dirty bastard. What's his name? Yeah, you can guess what his name was. And he looked like that. I'm just putting it out there. Yeah, not relevant. Just putting it out there. Neck of E.T., almost similar perplexion. Perplexion. Oh. Complexion. I'm perplexioned. I'm fucking perplexioned that you can wank yourself silly while staring at a set of threatening bits and say with a straight face, I'm helping. I'm helping. Yeah. So, yeah, good that, innit? The patient who has since passed away. See, now it's not funny, is it? Dr. fucking Babu. I'll tell you what, I'd be poking a few dozen hooks into fucking Mr. Babu if that was my missus. I'd fucking kill him. So, yeah, that's shocking. I guarantee Dr. Babu has a Twitter profile with loads of flags on it saying, love Trump's hate. Love Trump's hate. Shows you fucking minge. Innit? That's what they always do. Love Trump's hate. Yeah. Peace and love far out, bro. Kill them all. Yeah. Fuck off. I will not be talked down to by these fucking people. Ever. This is a beauty. You'll love this one, Hoy. Ex-soldier 41. Fucking amazing. This is brilliant, this. Look at this one. Ex-soldier 41 who claims cold injuries he suffered on overnight shift. When I first read it, I thought it was going to be like cold weather injuries he suffered during lengthy winter deployment in Tromsø, northern Norway. Like, I thought it was going to be, you know, properly like spent 3 weeks in a fucking snow, right? And then got frostnip, and it's now negatively affecting him. This story says he's claiming he's got these injuries, cold weather injuries, after a night shift. Where were you doing the night shift? On the fucking moon? I don't even understand it. Let's have a read anyway. Macmillan Awumwi. Yeah, fine, splendid English gentleman. That's the only name I've read that's almost as foreign as my alter ego, Mati Nungwankbo. That's my Nigerian cousin. He's suing the MOD because, he got a little bit cold. He's from Ghana. He says he now has to crank up the heating regularly to help chronic pain and tingling. And this is what I'm on about, right? My nana, who paid tax for 63 years, used to sit there freezing her tits off because she'd be like, I don't want to waste money on the heating. So she sits there with her fucking blue fingers, telling herself it's not that cold. But Mr. Nungwankbo comes over and he's cranking the heating up all year because guess who's fucking paying for it? It's not going to be him, is it? The Royal Corps of Logistics, yeah. So he did less work than fucking Dirty Harry's safety catch, didn't he? The Royal Corps of Logistics. I've never heard of a bootneck, and bootnecks go to Norway to do winter deployment where we do ice breaking drills where it's minus 35 and you've got to jump through a little fucking hole in the ice and then clamber out with your ski poles, freezing your tits off. And this bloke from the Royal Corps of Logistics says he's now suffering debilitating cold weather injuries because he did a night shift in Slough. I mean, you couldn't make this shit up, could you? It's always everybody's fault. It's always everybody else's fault. Do you remember the video I made a while back about that fucking family from buttfuck Norway, I don't know, Timbuktu? And they were whinging, saying it's the council's fault that there was mold in our house. And I just thought, mold, that's what you do. You clean it up. And it showed the house, photos from inside the house, and it was fucking leaping. Like, if I walked into that house, I'd be like, strap these fucking immigrants to the front of a white van. Get Blue Van Man's van, gaffer tape these cunts to the front of it and run them through the car wash about 8 times because the whole family is fucking leaping. These people are disgusting and it's nobody else's fault but yours. If you never get a shower and you never brush your teeth and you get athlete's foot and a few fillings, it's not my fault. The basics of human hygiene and not the responsibility of the fucking government. They just aren't. There's mold in your house. It's your fucking fault. And if you got cold on a night shift, pack your fucking gloves. They get issued gloves, so he hasn't got a excuse. You get issued warmers kit in the army. Put another jumper on. Wear your Gore-Tex. Put a woolly hat and a pair of fucking gloves on. It's not my fault. What do you want? Do you want Tony Blair to fucking follow you out on your night shift and dress you, dear? You grifting twat. So, yeah, there's my rant about that. In fact, let me rant about the word grifter. I hate the word grifter. Have you noticed how it's the most overused fucking term on earth now? Grifter. Everyone's a grifter. Oh, yeah, Bootneck's a grifter. It's like, you do realise that everybody who isn't woke does actually believe the things they say. You do get that, right? A grifter's someone who says something that they don't actually believe because they think they're going to get something out of it. But when I say, let's just pull something out of the ether, maybe it's negative consequences for the working classes if you get 40,000 Ghanaians and drop them off in fucking Hartlepool. That's not a grift. That's a statement of fact. That's a statement of fact. And you just need to accept that people disagree with you. The lefties call everyone a grifter, don't they? Everyone. It's pure. It's not really. Sophistry is when you're using flowery fucking language to like obfuscate a point. Paula's obviously speaks about 12 languages, so I'm not just trying to sound condescending there. She's not from Stockton. But yeah, it's sophistry is when people use flowery language to make bollocks arguments and they try to make them sound clever. Like whenever you ask a woke person a question, and that's what they do. They use needlessly flowery language to try and, I mean, everyone knows the woke do that. They've got their own fucking language, haven't they? When you say something that's common sense to them, like, if black people can't be racist, how come I read a story about the Brazilian beauty queen who got through out the pageant because she was black as a fire back, and instead they wanted a nice coffee-coloured black person. So what's that then? And then they go, yes, this is caused by a complex miasma of micro and macro aggressions, which results in a requirement to devote our time to combating colorism rather than racism, which is a long evolved an evolution of patriarchy and heteropatriarchy. That's sophistry. Yeah, there's a good example. Fucking bollocks. I'm British and Northern, so I don't use the term sophistry very often. I prefer the term fucking bollocks. But yeah, Trump. Paula's an educated foreign lady who speaks about 6 languages. So I will explain that in a sensible way. Us Northerners prefer the term fucking bollocks. And that's what they talk, fucking bollocks. Oh yeah, the story I wanted to cover. Let me just find it. My missus sent me it. She was like, oh, you should make a video about this. And then I read it and thought, no, I can't. If I make a video about this, I will get fucking banned, right? But pre-recorded stuff, they've got a very, very low tolerance for me. Live streams, you can get away with quite a lot because it's buried in the middle of there. You're entitled to your opinion. And mainly the only people who see your live streams is like your existing audience. So I've got a little bit of leeway here. Here's the story that I want to cover. Again, I don't think it's controversial, but I know for a fact it'd get me banned because most people, and even possibly some in here, we'll see how you take it. They can't handle an emotive issue. So when you're talking about like babies or kids or handicapped people or what have you, if you make a point, even if it's logical, they get pissed off. I know he is. I was going to do a video about him, but then I thought, no, if I bring him up, I'll get banned again. And I've had more bans than I've been banned off YouTube more times than Jimmy Savile got banned off the London bus network. And he was pulling the fucking head off it on the back seat every second trip. Every time they drove past the school, he'd be fucking pulling the head off it on the back seat. And I've been banned more times off YouTube than he has off the public buses. So I'll briefly cover it and say, essentially, he is a journalist that was slagging off Ukraine. So they arrested him in Ukraine. He's an American citizen. He was born and raised in California, but he was slagging off Ukraine in the wrong place. So he got arrested, locked up on trumped up charges for fucking months, years possibly, right? I don't know exactly how long. And now he's just died. And Biden's administration don't care. And the media don't care because even when you Google his name, there's hardly any stories. It's like a blanket cover-up by the evil sociopaths that run the world because they don't want you to know about him. But essentially, he was born and raised in America, slagged off Zelensky, and now he's fucking dead. Because, this is what I'm saying, because they think you're a bad person and they think you deserve it. They've convinced themselves of this. They think you're a bad person. If you criticize the Biden administration, you're a bad person. And you deserve it. If you die, if you get beaten up, if you get tortured, you deserve it. They think that. Elon Musk, Democrat, all his life, voted for Biden, didn't vote for Trump, voted for Biden. Obama, Biden, who ran against fucking Trump, Clinton. He voted, Elon Musk voted Obama, Clinton, Biden. And then he bought Twitter and they went, MAGA, MAGA. kill him. And they're all like, yeah, he's a bad person. He's a bad person. Might as well. Deserves it. Again, they're fucking insane. Some of those, I keep making the point, some of those Rust Belt states, I had the argument with my mother-in-law because she's a lefty. They voted Democrat 5 elections in a row. 5. Those Rust Belt states that Trump switched to red. They voted Clinton, Obama, Clinton, Gore, Trump. And they went, racists. It's like, racists? They voted for Obama twice. You can't vote for the black man to be in charge for 8 years. And then on the 9th year, everybody go, racist. But that's what they did. There's no logic to anything they say or do. They're fucking evil. But anyway, you're getting me off on a sidetrack and I want to do this before I bugger off. So this is the controversial story that I wouldn't be able to make a fucking video about, right? And I want your 2 cents on it. Because you guys, not for sale. The fuck it is. The Guardian is owned by... The Guardian is for sale for tuppence halfpenny. The people at The Guardian would suck Beelzebub's cock for 10 cents. Don't tell me you're not for sale. Don't tell me you're not for sale. Guardian. The Guardian would lick the sweat off Beelzebub's bell end for a nickel. So fuck off with your shit advert. Right, this is my controversial statement. You can all have a whinge. If you're not logical and rational and you let your emotions do the fucking thinking, right? This is my statement. Ahem. Margal Serran makes history as Spain's first parliamentarian with Down syndrome. Okay. Now, before you get pissed off, don't get emotional because everyone's got a soft spot for our, what's the politically correct term for them? Same-faced friends, right? I'm not slagging off people with Downs. Nobody thinks you should be cruel to people with Downs. Everybody likes a Downy, right? I'm just saying. So before you have a pop, everybody likes a Downy. Every town has a Downy, right? It's not like an ornament or, you know, a mascot, but every town's got one, right? My local town, everyone knows the local Downy called Michael. And he wanders around with his little dog called Pepsi and everybody likes him, right? So I'm not having a go. But logically, rationally, think of it, right? The brain doesn't fucking work properly. Again, I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm not saying the brain doesn't work properly like fucking Ian Huntley's or Jimmy Savile's or Ted Bundy's. I'm saying their brain doesn't work properly because they have an almost childlike view of the world. That's why everybody likes them. That's why I'm not having a pop. I'm not saying I don't think Downey should be in Parliament. Maybe we should eat them, right? No, not slagging them off. Nice people. Everybody likes a Downey, right? Shouldn't be in Parliament. Doesn't mean we should feed them into the woodchopper or eat them, turn them into paste, feed them to prisoners, protein-rich gruel. I have that plan for a different group of people. Feed them to prisoners as a protein-rich gruel. That is different. Not these lads. Everybody likes these lads, but this is the point I'm making. Let me just read you the story. Right. For decades, she battled to ensure people with intellectual disabilities were part of the conversation. The extent of the progress she has made, however, was laid bare recently when Margal Serran became the first politician Downey. Right? Now, the opening sentence, I totally agree. Totally agree with that. They should be part of the conversation. I respect and admire, especially admire the families of people that have the Down syndrome kids. They're all fucking nice kids. But they're childlike. That's why we all like them. I'm not slagging them off. But when you're a fucking leader of a nation, with all the myriad responsibility that entails, with the Machiavellian scheming that the political class get up to, when you've got to deal with threats from at home and abroad, from China, Russia, you're being assailed by enemies of the state. To put a fucking same face in politician is the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard in my entire life. Is that controversial? I mean, okay, good example. I would rather have a galloping Downy. I would rather have the most childish, innocent Gruffalo every night before bed, because they do that. Some of them don't, and they get fixated on one thing. Watch the fucking Teletubbies on loop 19 hours a day, Down syndrome, than Fetterman. But generally speaking, as nice as they are, the fact that we like them is because of their childlike, pleasant, innocent demeanor should also be the fact that keeps them out of fucking political office. Now, is that unreasonable? Am I saying anything bad about them? Right? Because you know what it's like. What, you don't want to take an experimental jab? Granny killer. Granny killer. That's what they do with this video. What? You don't think a Downy with a room temperature IQ shouldn't run the fucking MOD? Oh, why do you want to kill them all? Didn't say that, did I? No. Never mentioned that. Yeah, there you go. Well, I do. Yeah, I'm a bit. Looks like I'm always storing my fucking chewing gum in my bottom lip. I do. I'll meet you halfway there. I look a bit downy. So I'm looking after my boys here. They should be respected and they should be cared for and they should always be treated with love and tolerance. But they shouldn't be running the fucking MOD. They shouldn't be in charge of the FBI or the CIA, and they certainly shouldn't be going in to a fucking high-level negotiation with President Xi Jinping and going, hello, I like chocolate. Should they? Because it's fucking serious. This is the dumbest shit that I've ever heard. And it doesn't mean, why do you want to kill Downies? No, I'm not saying that. No, definitely not. Didn't want to kill anyone's granny either. Politely disagreeing with someone who's woke doesn't mean that you want to murder everyone. I'm just putting that out there. And it gets better. It gets better because when I read this, first started reading it, I thought, oh, at least only the Spanish are mentally deficient. Again, the people are thicker than the Downies because they tolerate this shit. They think it's a good idea to vote for them. Who's the thickest? Think about it. Who's the thickest? The mentally challenged Down syndrome kid or the apparently normal person who votes for a Down syndrome to be in charge of everything? Who's the thick one? Who's the thick one? Think about it. If I was on a bus, if you're a normal person and you're on a bus, you're on a tour bus, and they say, oh, the driver's hurt his elbow, he can't drive. Featherstone Rover's gobbing off. So let's say me and him are on a bus. If me and Featherstone are on holiday, right, and we're going to go on a narrow canyon pass, and the tour bus driver says, oh, I've hurt my elbow, I can't drive. Does one of you two want to take the wheel? And I say, I'll tell you what, Featherstone, you're older than me, you can pick, you've got seniority. Do you want me to drive? I did an advanced driving course in the Royal Marines, and I drove through Iraq and Afghanistan, and I've done some, off-roading at Leckensfield with the military. Or Mungo can drive, and he's there. If you pick Mungo, you're thicker than Mungo. You're the thickest person on the fucking bus. So to me, you can't even have a go at fucking, and I'm not having a go at my gal Saren. I'm having a go at the people that are thick enough to fucking vote for her. And Fetterman, yeah. But again, I've made videos talking about how thick the people are who voted for Fetterman. So I mean, I'm covering myself. But this is where it gets better. So it's not just the Spanish that are beyond way stupider than Mungo. It gets better. Look at this. Blah, blah, blah. The fate has been decades. So I thought, oh, well, at least it's only the Spanish and everybody knows they can't run a piss up in a brewery. Get down to this bit. The achievement catapults Galceran to the top of the ranks of the handful of people with Down syndrome who have crashed through barriers to enter the world of politics. Well, they're good at crashing through barriers, aren't they? Straight through the front door. What was that there for? There was wood in that hole. Yeah, it's not that weird crashing through barriers. In 2020, Eleanor Lalou became the first person with the genetic disorder in France to be elected to public office as a city council member in the northern town of Arras. And in Ireland, Fintan Bray was hailed for making history after he was elected to political position in the country in 2022. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mungo's the clever one. Ireland, France, Spain, you are the thickest people imaginable. But in those countries, we should let the Down syndromes be in charge because they're obviously cleverer than the fucking general public. But as I said, to reiterate, at no point am I saying anything negative about those people. Everybody likes Down syndromes. They have a childlike innocence. They're always in a good mood. That's why everybody wants to look after them, because they're like children. But if you wouldn't let a child run your country, then you shouldn't let a kid with Down syndrome run your country. That's all I'm saying, right? The fucking world's gone mad. The fact that I had to caveat this so many times and stick it in the middle of a live stream to even get it out there shows how fucked we are. Because you can't say common sense things like people that have the mental age of 10-year-olds should not be running the country, just like we don't let 10-year-olds run the country. You know what I mean? I do know they're prone to mood swings as well. But again, it's because they're like kids. Kids are prone to mood swings. I'm not having a fucking go. I'm just saying I don't think they should be in charge. And that astounded me. So they're in charge. They're in charge in Spain. They're in charge in France. They're in fucking charge in Ireland. It's mental. Absolutely mental. It's the world we're living in. Fucking crazy. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. That was the story I wanted to talk about. Is the stream free to watch? Yes, it's free. Of course it's free. Does it look like we've got expensive production values? In this, we don't have a script. We don't have a lighting manager. We've just got the bootneck. And I'm going to call it a day. Even that's better. It's stupid, but it's better than Down syndrome counsellor. Right, I'll call it a day because I've got shit to do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Nearly got 600 viewers in today. That's more than many cable TV shows get. Thanks for turning up. I will be posting new videos next week. If you're not a tight bastard, join the channel. Why not? YouTube don't give me any fucking money for doing it, so you might as well. Other than that, thanks for watching. I'll do another giveaway to reward those of you that are members next week, and I'll send out some more shit art. All right, thanks for all your help and your continued support. See you all very soon. Toodle pip. God bless America. Can't say God save the Queen. I would say that because I liked her, but I can't bring myself to say nice things about sausage fingers, so I'll just say have a good weekend. All right? See you later. Cheers.